Right now, there's an awesome space thing happening that's got everyone excited, from professional space scientists to people just looking up at the night sky. The star Betelgeuse is doing something cool. It's a big red star that's part of Orion, which is easy to spot in the sky. People in the northern part of the world have been looking at Betelgeuse in the winter for ages. But since May of last year, it's gotten way brighter, like 50% brighter. Now it's the 7th brightest star we can see, when it used to be 10th. This isn't just a normal change. It means big stuff is going on inside the star. Betelgeuse is already known for changing brightness, but now it's like it's starting its last act. It's burned for millions of years and is now heading towards blowing up. Betelgeuse is huge. If it were in the middle of our solar system, it would stretch past Jupiter, swallowing up Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. It's that big. Eventually, Betelgeuse will die in a huge explosion called a supernova. It'll collapse and maybe turn into a neutron star or even a black hole. But don't worry, that won't happen for thousands of years. Luckily, Betelgeuse is far enough away, about 650 light years, that we're safe, but close enough to get a good look. When it blows up, it'll be amazing. Before we even see the light from the explosion, tiny particles called neutrinos will hit Earth. Detectors will pick them up like a warning sign. Then, in hours or days, the star will get super bright. It could be as bright as the full moon for weeks or months. You might even see it during the day. But let's rewind to 2019. Betelgeuse started getting dim. So dim that anyone could see it. People wondered if it was about to explode. Telescopes looked at it closely. The outside layers seemed to be getting bigger. Then it stopped, and the star looked colder and darker. In early 2020, Betelgeuse was the dimmest it had ever been. Some people thought it was dying. But then it started getting brighter again. Scientists figured out that it had burped out a huge chunk of its outer shell, like a giant solar flare. The stuff it threw out made a dust cloud that blocked our view, which made the star look dim. The Hubble telescope even took pictures of it, which was a first. It proved that big stars can have these kinds of explosions before they die. This also changed Betelgeuse's rhythm. It usually gets brighter and dimmer every 400 days. But after the burp, that time got cut in half. It was like the star had been shaken up. Scientists think a big bubble of hot gas came up from inside the star and messed things up. This hot spot might also be why it's brighter now. As Betelgeuse calms down, scientists think its rhythm will go back to normal, but it could take years. They're watching carefully because they might learn new stuff about stars. Even though it's exciting, Betelgeuse isn't going to explode soon. It's still fusing helium into carbon. It has to go through a few more steps before it blows up. So, the supernova is still thousands of years away. Still, watching these changes happen in real time is pretty cool. It's like the universe is giving us a sneak peek of the finale. Betelgeuse has always been part of our stories. Its name might come from an Arabic word for armpit of the giant, because of where it is in Orion. Different people have different stories about it. In Japan, it was a severed arm. In Brazil, a turtle's leg. To people in the Arctic, it meant the end of winter. We've always been fascinated by stars. Betelgeuse is awesome because we can see it changing. It's like a space laboratory where we can test our ideas about stars. Recently, scientists even saw a star far away eating one of its planets. Betelgeuse isn't doing that, but its crazy changes remind us that the universe is wild. When you see Betelgeuse in the sky, remember the light has traveled 650 years to get to you. It's the story of a star that's dying, and it might help us figure out some of the biggest mysteries in space. Pretty cool, huh? So, there's this crazy thing happening with a star called Betelgeuse. It's not just astronomers who are geeking out, but regular folks who like looking at the night sky too. Betelgeuse is this huge red star that's part of the Orion constellation. If you're in the northern part of the world, you probably see it every winter. It used to be a pretty steady, reddish light. But since May of last year, it's gotten way brighter, like 50% brighter. It jumped from being the 10th brightest star to number 7. This isn't just some random change. It means big stuff is going on inside the star. Betelgeuse has always been a bit unpredictable with its brightness, but now it's like it's entering a new phase. What we're seeing could be the last stages of this star's long life, before it blows up. To get an idea of how massive Betelgeuse is, imagine swapping it with our Sun. It would stretch past Jupiter, swallowing up all the planets closer to the Sun like Earth and Mars. It's seriously huge. Eventually, Betelgeuse will explode as a supernova. When that happens, it might turn into a neutron star, or even a black hole if it's massive enough. But don't worry, that's not happening anytime soon. We're talking thousands of years from now. Luckily, Betelgeuse is far enough away, about 650 light-years, that we're safe. When it does explode, it's going to be an amazing sight. Before we even see the light, Earth will be hit by a wave of neutrinos. Scientists have special detectors that will pick up these particles, giving us a heads up. Then, within hours or days, the star will get super bright. It could even be as bright as the full moon for weeks or months, and we'll be able to watch the whole thing happen with our telescopes. But let's rewind to 2019. Betelgeuse started getting dimmer. It got so faint that you could tell even without a telescope. Astronomers were wondering if this was the start of the supernova. Telescopes around the globe were pointed at Orion. Scientists saw weird stuff happening on the star's surface. It was expanding, then it stopped, and the star looked cooler and darker. In early 2020, Betelgeuse was the dimmest it had ever been. Some experts thought it might be the end. But then it slowly started getting brighter again. People came up with all sorts of explanations, until scientists figured out what happened. It had burnt out a huge chunk of its outer layers. It was like a solar flare, but way bigger. This eruption created a cloud of dust that blocked our view, which is why it looked like it was dimming. The Hubble telescope even took pictures of it, which was a first for a red supergiant star. It proved that these stars can have big eruptions before they die. This event also messed with Betelgeuse's rhythm. It usually pulses every 400 days, but after the eruption, that got cut in half. It was like someone had shaken the star up. Scientists think a giant bubble of hot gas rose inside the star and burst through the surface, causing the eruption. This hot spot might also be why the star is brighter now. It'll probably take a few years for Betelgeuse's rhythm to go back to normal. In the meantime, scientists are keeping a close watch, because it could change what we know about how stars live and die. Even though all this is cool, experts say Betelgeuse isn't going to explode just yet. It's still turning helium into carbon. It has to go through a few more steps before it's ready to blow. So, the supernova is probably still tens of thousands of years away. Still, it's pretty amazing that we get to see all these changes happening in real time. It's like the universe is giving us a sneak peek of the finale. Besides the science, Betelgeuse has always been part of our stories. Its name might come from an Arabic word for armpit of the giant, because of where it is in Orion. Different cultures had their own ideas about it. In Japan, it was a severed limb. In Brazil, it was a turtle's leg. To some Arctic people, it meant the end of winter was coming. All these stories show that we've always been fascinated by the stars. Today, Betelgeuse still amazes us, because we get to watch a star's life slowly unfold. It's close enough and big enough that we can actually study its surface. It's become a kind of space lab, where we can test our ideas about how stars work. And what's been happening lately has made it even more interesting. It reminds us that the universe is always changing. So, next time you're outside on a clear night, take a look at that reddish star in Orion. Think about the light that's traveled all that way to reach your eyes. It's the story of a star that's dying, and it might help us figure out some of the biggest secrets of the universe. Pretty cool, right?